I played The Witcher 3 back in the day when it first came out 10 years ago. I've beaten the base game, Hearts of Stone, Blood and Wine, and honestly I still play this game. And to this day, every new RPG comes out gets compared to The Witcher 3 in my mind, whether it's Starfield, Dragon Age, Avowed, Assassin's Creed, Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2, anything else. I always ask the same question, is it good as The Witcher 3? The Witcher 3 didn't just feel like a game, it felt like a real world. The people had its problems, the villagers were struggling, the wars had consequences. Characters had flaws, and even the smallest side quests turned into a story that stuck with you for years. The one side quest that stuck with me, the Tower Full of Mice on Fake Isle. It starts with it looks like a basic haunted island. Quest, kill some ghosts and collect your reward and move on. Instead, you uncover a tragic story involving betrayal, disease, fear, and a woman named Annabelle. Most RPGs have side quests that feel like, go here, kill 10 bandits, come here for 100 gold. But Witcher 3 side quests felt like short stories. Some were better written than the main stories of the entire game. Out of all RPGs I played, like Crimson Desert, Outer Worlds, etc., I always ask myself a question, is it better than Witcher 3? And most of the time I answer that question, the answer is always no. And that's why hearing CD Projekt Red is releasing new content for the game that many of us thought was finished. Honestly, one of the biggest surprises in gaming. What made Witcher 3 so special? It wasn't the graphics or the combat, it was the world. Every village had a story. Every side quest felt like it mattered. Every contract that should have been a simple monster hunts often ended in difficult choices that stayed with you long after you finished them. 12 years later, the most RPGs still struggle to match that level of storytelling. I spent over a decade with this game, replayed it more times I can count, explored every corner of Velen, Novigrad, Skellige, and also Tucson. I have completed every single DLC. So when I hear Geralt might be getting one more adventure, it feels less like a DLC and more like seeing an old friend. So what do we actually know about the new Witcher DLC? First of all, the expansion is called Songs of the Past. Once again, we'll be stepping in the boots of Geralt, which is something a lot of fans thought would never happen after Blood and Wine. The expansion is scheduled to release in 2027 for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. It's also being developed by CD Projekt Red alongside Fool's Theory, a studio made up of developers who also worked on the Witcher games before. Right now, CD Projekt Red is keeping most of the story details a secret, but they have confirmed that we'll be learning a lot more later in the summer, likely around Gamescom 2026. And here's the part that makes me really excited. CD Projekt Red has said that the scope of the expansion is closer to Blood and Wine than Hearts of Stone. And if this is true, we're not talking about a small expansion with a few quests. We're talking about a full-blown expansion with brand new story, new characters, and potentially hundreds of hours of content. And honestly, that makes a lot of Witcher fans excited. The reason The Witcher 3 is still talked about today isn't because it's the biggest RPG. It isn't because it has the best graphics, and it's definitely not because of its combat. It's because the game has soul. From every single side character, main character, Ciri feels like a daughter to me. I feel Geralt being the father to Ciri and trying to mentor her into this world, this dark world. Every village feels real, like a real place. Every character feels like they have their own life. Even the smallest side quest that can turn into a story that you will remember years down the road. For example, the Bloody Baron quest. What starts as a simple search for information becomes a story about family, addiction, regret, and redemption. Most RPGs give you objectives. The Witcher 3 gives you stories. That's why 12 years later, I still compare every RPG to it. When I play a new game, I don't ask if the map gets bigger. I ask if the world feels alive. I ask if the characters feel real. I ask if the side quest even matters. And a very few games have been able to match that what Witcher 3 has accomplished. For example, Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, Kingdom Come's Deliverance 2, and Cyberpunk 2077. And maybe this is why the DLC announcements feel so different. Most games release and have their moments and slowly fade away. The Witcher 3 never did. 12 years later, people are still replaying it. They're still discovering new details. They're still debating about the choices from quests they completed years ago, and honestly, it says everything about the quality of the game, because if the game keeps people talking for almost a decade, they did something special. Now we're getting Songs of the Past, a brand new adventure with Geralt, and now while we don't know much about the story yet, one thing is certain. CD Projekt Red knows they have a lot to live up to. Blood and Wine is considered one of the greatest expansions ever made. Hearts of Stone gave us one of gaming's best villains, Gunther O'Dim, and now the developers are asking us to return to a world that many of us never truly left. As someone who's been playing Witcher 3 since launch, I can't wait to see what they have planned. What about you? Are you excited for Songs of the Past? Do you think any RPGs have surpassed The Witcher 3? Let me know down in the comments. You know, the more I think about this, the more impressive this announcement becomes. We're talking about a game that launched back in 2015. Since then, we had new consoles, new graphics cards, hundreds of new games, and countless RPGs trying to become the next big thing. Yet somehow we're still talking about The Witcher 3. Not because it's nostalgic, not because the people are forcing themselves to love it, because it genuinely holds up. The writing, the world, the characters, and that's incredibly rare in gaming now these days. Honestly, I can't think how many RPGs have aged this well. So whether Songs of the Past ends up being Geralt's final adventure or just one more chapter in his story, I'm excited. Because after 12 years, I still haven't found another RPG that makes me feel the same way as Witcher 3 does. And maybe this is why the DLC announcement has so many fans excited. It's not just new content. But let me know what you think. Is Witcher 3 still the king of RPGs, or has it another game finally surpassed it? I'll be reading the comments, and thanks for watching. I see you guys in the next one. Peace.